Ah, great.
Here we go. Okay. Hi,
Excellent.
Masha. Hi,
Hi.
Masha. Thanks for having us, despite your very early morning for you. Thank you so much.
The
Thanks
sun is
to
finally up, though. The sun is
okay,
finally up. It's
okay.
yeah.
Also, thanks to Florence and Timothy. Florence is a old coach friend of mine. Thanks for her invitation. Okay. So over to
Okay.
you, Masha. Yeah.
Okay. So Ricky, thank you. I intentionally, I don't know, what's fully going on with you and what it is you'd like from our time together. But I know that you have a dilemma. So
Mm.
can you tell me just a little bit about, what's on your mind that's making you a little uncomfortable right now?
Okay. I mean, in the face of the pandemic, COVID-19, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm facing loss of income, loss of job, and other business opportunities. So now,
Mm-hmm.
uh, trying my very best to recover or quote unquote restructure myself. Now, see the apart from the economic loss and financial loss, so comes together a bundle of other losses like loss of self-esteem, self-confidence, and
Mm-hmm.
that gets me into this vortex of energies, like a roller coaster lah.
Yeah.
Today I'm like on a high energy level. I'm trying to do something, attempting to do
Mm-hmm.
something constructive. Then the next moment is like it just plunges down and stay there for a while in the plateau and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I know it's not a good place to be in, considering the need to come back up
Mm-hmm.
again. So that's the challenge I feel to
Okay.
maintain high level of energy, thinking
Ah,
constructively.
okay. Let
Those
me
are
share with
the
you, Ricky,
yeah.
a little bit of what I hear.
Okay.
Um, I want to share at the end of what you said was being able to keep my energy up. Okay. Because I want to hold on to that because it sounds to me as if that's what you think you need to do. I want to also recognize that you named two things that the loss of job and income is impacting your self-esteem, uh, your sense of self and your value, and which is making it difficult for you to have a positive outlook. Correct?
Yes, that is correct, right?
Okay.
Mm.
So when you said I need to keep my energy up, what is that? What does that mean to you? Keep my energy up.
Uh, there are times like I wake up in the morning and okay, I have plans. I put it down in my diary. Okay, I need to get these things up.
Mm-hmm.
Go and
Mm-hmm.
send out my resume.
Mm-hmm.
And when I come to that moment to actually carry out that assignment, it's like this mind starts to flashback. I've been trying to this nagging voice.
Mm-hmm.
Is trying to. I've tried to
Mm-hmm.
send out so many resumes, apply so many jobs that has got no positive response.
Mm-hmm.
So that's get me caught in that particular vortex, and starts to procrastinate and
Mm-hmm.
switch on the TV and just watch those
Ah. Mm-hmm.
series, drama series in TV, HBO,
Okay.
whatever you name
Yeah.
it, and then
Yeah.
and,
Mm-hmm.
and then
And
and
then
then
you
just
don't do what you
yeah, half a
intended to
day
do.
is
Yeah.
just gone, and then you start to have this
Mm.
guilt feeling,
Ah.
and it goes on lah. So
So it's a spiral.
yeah, spiral.
Yeah.
So how to
Okay.
get
So
out of
what I
that?
heard you say was you do get up with intentions of things that you want to do. Um, uh, but you quickly hit the, uh, what's the value of this? I'm getting rejections. Um, and it hurts. And so you distract yourself. Um, yeah. And then at the end of the day, you know you distracted yourself and you feel guilty for doing that. So, Ricky, is it that you want to be able to do your list of things even though you feel this way, or do you want to shift from not feeling badly and scared and frustrated? Do you want to stop feeling that way, or do you want to be able to keep doing your work even though you feel that way?
Um, I would like to get over the feeling of rejection, getting over the feeling of failure even before I got started. That's I think
Ah,
I feel that would be
even
the
before you got started.
yeah. It's like
Okay.
some kind of self-sabotage. I don't know in your
Okay, but that's okay.
lingo.
So what I'm hearing you say, it's mostly right away, that you feel this so quickly, that what you'd like to shift is um, not feeling it right away. I mean, you may feel it later, but you want to be able to get up and move into doing some things before you get taken down. Is that what it is that you want to create?
Mm. Yeah. That's one of the key things I intend to achieve. To get on to the task to get that out of the way, and uh, I also want to feel uh, a sense of accomplishment, once I actually got that out of the way. But what I'm
Okay.
feeling now, even though if I, quote unquote, force myself to do it, it's such a yucky feeling. It's like I'm just doing for the sake of doing and not actually very much inspired lah, by the kind of
Yeah.
actions.
No,
So
I hear.
I don't
I
reckon
just
it's
want to
going to.
stress, Ricky,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry if I interrupt you a few times, but I'm really looking at time. Um, so I want to hit key words for you.
Uh-huh.
Um, and the word you just stressed was inspired. Okay, you don't feel inspired. Is that what you're seeking? Is some inspiration?
Yes, it's inspiration to know that actually I took the right course of action, and to actually feel good about that, to raise my level and my
Hmm.
quality of energy, like put it that way.
Okay. So right course of action, that's different from um, getting the reaction from people out there. That what you just said to me is, I want to know that I did it. I took the right course of action, no matter what. No matter what. Is that what would inspire you? At least that.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. All right. So sounds to me that you do plan, you know what the course of action is. So do you know? Are you clear? Um, when you get up in the morning, what is that right course of action? What would that look like if you were able to do that? What's the right course of action?
Um, First, I'll get up, get myself do some warm up exercise, some
Mm-hmm.
meditation and things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, okay, and then just uh, get back to other areas. I mean, other important areas like career, like things I mentioned. Get that job, get to
Mm-hmm.
apply that job, do
Mm-hmm.
that particular research you need to do about
Mm-hmm.
the stakeholders and
Mm-hmm.
companies,
Mm-hmm.
so that I could actually able to stand out lah, as a better candidate,
Yeah.
to
Okay.
secure that. So that is what I feel uh, the very best in me, if I could actually do that consistently. My aim is to do that consistently, not
Ah,
consistently, not
consistently.
yes, not like
That's your key
yo-yo,
word.
uh, not going to like a roller coaster. Okay, I'm doing
Mhm.
this like on Tuesday, and Thursday and Wednesday, I take a break,
Mhm.
So that's not very good. That's how I feel it's not consistent. So that's another
Okay.
my major
So you
concern.
know what the right course of action is. You just said it to me.
Uh,
And you know that you want to be more consistent. So sometimes then, Ricky, you are doing it, aren't you?
yes, you are right. I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, as I said, is roller coaster kind of dilemma, the syndrome, comes in. So
Yeah.
how do I,
Okay.
stay on top of that?
So let me ask you this, Ricky, in terms of what's possible for you. What you just said to me is it's the roller coaster, which means it's going way up and way down.
Yeah, correct.
Do you want to not be on the roller coaster, or is it you want to decrease the ups and downs of the roller coaster?
Uh, to decrease the roller coaster, it's more like, like this, you're going consistent speed, or going consistently, I know I'm getting somewhere, rather than, like here, wow, today I'm going down,
Whoa.
and tomorrow, wow, I'm going high up and then down again for a few days, So I would prefer the former,
Okay.
rather than the latter. That's how I feel.
All right. So I hear from you, Ricky, that you do know what the highs feel like, and that you do know what it is you need to do, and then you dip down. So do you know exactly at that time that you dip, what makes you dip?
Um, okay, what makes me deep? This 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 trigger that that's just come in flashes within that moment, out of the blue, like fear of rejection, impatience, and
Mm,
loss of confidence, and
mm,
some other host of things that is not constructive,
mm-hmm.
to push me to push myself to
Yeah.
that extra mile.
Okay. No. That's thank you for sharing that. That there's something that happens that you start to fear rejection, um, which starts sending you down, and you start to question, what you're doing and yourself. Is that true?
That is correct. So
Okay.
those flashes of thoughts, so
Uh-huh.
make me have doubts, doubts
You
of
doubt.
my personal values,
Yeah.
doubts of my
Okay.
self-esteem. So that's caused the deep, in the
Yeah.
roller coaster
Okay,
ride.
so that's the moment.
Mm.
That's the moment. So Ricky,
Yeah.
before the pandemic and all of this, were you of value to companies? Did you bring value?
Yes.
What is that
Uh,
value?
I what do I offer insights to potential clients. I have this ability to empathize with what they need,
Mm-hmm.
listen to them,
Mm-hmm.
come to the middle path, the workable solution for that. So
Mm-hmm.
those are some of my values, and it's not what's in it for me, but how
Mm-hmm.
can I serve? How do I use my unique talents to help another
Yeah.
person? So those are some of my values, to add value.
Okay.
Uh,
So you do add value.
yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah. And it's a difficult time right now.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So in those moments, Ricky, that you start to doubt yourself, and question your value, what you just shared with me, how can you use that to help you not dip so low on the roller coaster?
Okay, uh, one method which I use, I uh, do some meditation, a bit of chanting, and some relaxing music to to in my attempt to shift my energy level. That helps a bit to get it up again. Well, again, as I heard from your sharing, practice practice more to get that to be part of my habits So something which I need to work on more in the face of this new set of challenges in this pandemic.
Consistently.
Consistently, this pandemic condition consistently. So more homework to do I reckon. More practice and to be more patient, to work
to
on
be
that.
more patient with who?
With myself.
With yourself. That felt really good. And I love the way you went, with myself. It's a very difficult time, Ricky.
Yes.
Yeah, right. And we put a lot of expectations on ourselves, don't we?
Yes. You're right.
Yeah, and I want to acknowledge you for being able to visualize what's going on with you, but recognizing that you do know what value you have and what makes you feel good. It's just you forget.
Yes. Sometimes we do forget our inner qualities, I suppose, and taken those qualities for granted.
Yeah. So is that the most important? What is it that you've learned in this conversation?
With what I mean, the insights is I gather from our this session is do it consistently. I mean, do whatever effort you put in consistently, even though it's just moving 1% ahead, it's better than 0%. And then rather than getting caught in all this drama kind of series, to be distracted. That's reminded me sometimes it's like kind of drug, that I actually take to distract myself and well, to be more aware, to be more conscious, like you mentioned the kind of energy before it slips in further and take root, and before it have total full command of our daily energy. Before that thing
okay,
get
so
hold
tell
of
me.
us.
So Ricky, what's one thing that's going to help you stay more consistent with catching yourself before you go down?
Take a moment to meditate, to temporarily shift my low level of energy to a different set of energy, which is more constructive for me, more healthier for me, so that I can go about the balance of the day constructively, even though it is just another 1%. So be thankful, be grateful for that 1%. For that 1% is going to accumulate and build another many more 1%, so that tomorrow will be another good day for me. That's how I'm going to plan it out, lah.
Okay. Is there any other things you need? Any other resources that will help you?
I believe I have got resources in terms of materials. Just that sometime another real person to talk to, lah. So like Florence, things. So
great.
That she can actually throw some insights to me. Hey, look, you are getting into this vortex kind of thing. Okay, time to snap out of it. Things like that, lah. I suppose the
So some
human,
other external reminders.
yeah, like before
Very
getting to the
nice.
kind of vortex. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
that's my
great.
insight. That's my takeaway lah for this evening.
That's fabulous. And
Okay,
when are you
sure.
going to start doing this?
Well, immediately lah. Put it into practice immediately.
When you wake up.
Ah, yes, yes.
Okay. I want to
Uh,
say that there's a great lightness in you now.
yeah.
Yeah, that you're much
Thank you so
lighter
much.
than when you
Yeah,
started. So
yeah.
that's fabulous, Ricky. Thank you.
That's really great. Having this coaching conversation with you. Thanks for inviting me
Yeah,
on
you're
board. Yeah.
welcome.
Thanks so much. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Uh,
wish you an interesting and successful journey, because this isn't going to change like that. So I hope your journey is fulfilling for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
For the insights, the
Mm-hmm.
the step-by-step process of helping me to uh, unveil some of the things I couldn't see lah while
Yeah.
was
Very
caught in
good.
the vortex. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you,
You're
Timothy.
welcome.
Also, yeah,
You're
yeah,
welcome.
yeah,
Thank you, Ricky. Thank you.
yeah. Thanks so
Okay,
much. Have a
so
nice evening.
I'm going to open it up to
Yeah,
questions. Is that okay, Ricky? Are we good?
we are good. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Yeah, all the best to
Okay,
you too.
great.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Ah. Hmm.
Wow, that was a great conversation of reflective inquiry, and I guess great insights for all of us as we see the demonstration and also the live situation of what Ricky has gone through. And I think that was great, and the way that you have allowed him to be able to come up with insights and also to pick up all those articulation that comes through the action. And I think those were great insights for all of us also. And I think that's something which, for me, I was just writing out a lot of points, a lot of key areas as you shared, as you mentioned in what you shared earlier on the 5 essential practices. And I think focus, the active replay, the brain hacking, the goal tending, and so the new and the next, talking about the coaching insights and commitments.
Yeah, they were all there, weren't they? Yeah, it's like, sure, I could have given Ricky advice, but that wouldn't have helped, would it? He had to go through this himself to bring it forth and really look at it. And sometimes people say, whoa, but it seemed like such a simple realization. But remember, we get stuck. We get stuck. And so somebody asked a little bit about non-reactive empathy. Okay, I hope you saw that I deeply cared and understood what Ricky was going through. I mean, aren't we all? But I didn't get stuck in his story. I stayed with him to help him to move through. I shared what he was saying, the consistency, the roller coaster, I wouldn't have been able to pick up on that if I got stuck in his story. So I felt it, but I have to release it. And so that's what that means. And it does take practice. There's a lot of work around that. There's a little video on my YouTube around non-reactive empathy, but a lot of things that I'll be teaching going forward that hopefully will help people that want to develop this. So, yeah, thanks.
We got lots of questions here. Maybe just particularly on the demonstration that you've done, the live coaching. Josephine has got this question, says, how to catch the keyword effortlessly?
If you noticed, there was a little shift of emotion on his keywords when he said consistently. Oh, okay, that's it. There's always a slight shift with the keyword, and the keyword is usually an adjective, a descriptive word, or it's a picture like roller coaster, okay, which was his metaphor. So it's a descriptive word or a metaphor that they use that seem to be really a big part of their thinking. And so this is why presence is so critical, Because if you're thinking about what question I should ask, you will miss it. And I see coaches do this all the time. You know, the client will give it to them. They'll have the shift in the word, but the coach is stuck in, what question should I ask? And they miss it. I'm like, you missed it. You missed the key word. So you've got to trust that however able you are to coach right now is good enough. And questions should never come from your memory. Questions should always come from your curiosity in the moment. Okay, I don't think about questions. At the beginning, maybe like, you know, what's on your mind? And at the end, you know, when are you going to do this? What resources do you need? That's the bookends. The bookends are standard. But during the coaching, I never recall a question that I saw on a list or a coach told me. It always comes from the conversation and usually following a reflection. And that's why it's reflective inquiry and not just inquiry question asking. Yeah.
Yeah, we got one more question regarding to the live demo just now. This is from Marian Arden, and the question is, I feel that Ricky has 5 areas of concern, which is income, then there's one Kobe, I'm not very sure whether maybe it's a wrong spelling, application turns down, lose of energy and no enthusiasm to start his day. So the question is, as a coach, do you think that we should probe a question like which of his concern is more important to start off? Would that be...
No, if you notice, I was using his concerns to find out what does he want instead. Remember, I'm not coaching his problems. I need to hear what is it you want instead. So I reflected. I hear it, so there's self-esteem. I hear you're getting rejected. I hear that. What is it that you need? What is it you want instead? I need the outcome. The outcome is not a problem. The outcome is a desired state. Okay, then I can go back to rejection, self-esteem, whatever. I can go back to that, but I'm not asking what problem he wants to work on. I'm asking what outcome he wants to create. This is a huge distinction that coaches need to remember. Otherwise, you're going to chase them with all the problems they present, instead of getting very clear on where are we going with this? What is it you want instead? And what he wanted was kind of dual, you know, the sense of the energy, to keep the energy up. But it was the key word to me was consistency, because I'm like, what keeps your energy up? So that wasn't even the outcome. When he said, when I'm consistent with this, I was like, oh, there it is. There's what I really, really want is somehow to maintain consistency, because then those dips won't be so low. My self-esteem won't be so damaged. Okay, so I had to drill down to what it is he really wanted. Okay, in order to know where are we going with this, and then how do those problems play into that. That outcome is critical and not, it's hard. It seems easy, but it's hard. It seems to me when I mentor coaches, that's almost like one of the most difficult things, that to parse that out, to get to that. But when you start practicing this, it gets easier and you'll see the power of it. So getting to that agreement of what it is you really want here. And you'll see, like in my book, I say, okay, here's what you want. And then we explore it. And well, here's what you really want. And then we explore it. But here's what you really, really want. So we identify it. We drill down. We vertically coach. Not horizontal across the problem, but vertical into the need of the client. Really critical. So thank you for the question.
Right. Okay, one more related to the conversation is that Serena has got this question. In coaching conversations, do we not get to the root cause of the fear, or is it low self-esteem or etc., or that would be a different coaching approach, or would that be a different one?
You know, I believe that he gave me the root causes up front, you know, that people aren't hiring, I'm getting rejected, it affects my self-esteem, I'm feeling badly, so I go watch TV. You know, so basically that's it. And then I'm not consistent. I don't want to go into, so Ricky, you know, have you had self-esteem in your life? And, you know, I don't go into people's past because that's not coaching, that's therapy. Could I have taken some other paths around the fear right now, how realistic the fear is? Is he too hard on himself? I could have. We touched on that when he said patience. And I grabbed that word, patient with who? I grabbed it at that moment because I sensed that he was really being too hard on himself. But I needed to go where he wanted to go. So I just held that thought, saw if it would show up. But, you know, again, in coaching, you can go down different paths, but I would never say use the question, so what's your fear? It's too general. They don't know. You know, I always use their words. And notice that. I used his words, and I gave him his words to look at. I didn't come up with them myself. And please understand, I have a doctorate in psychology, so I know how to do, and clinical psychology, I know how to do all that, but it's not coaching. So I don't go there. Yeah.
Good, great.
Okay.
Yeah, we have one more question regarding
Okay.
the conversation. Let me see. Natalie has got this question that asks, hi Marsha, do you take notes during your coaching sessions?
I love that.
To point the keywords or not to forget asking trigger questions?
No. It's so funny that I always get that question. It's like, how do you remember? Because the more present you are, the more you're going to remember. You have to trust that you have this ability. You're a smart person. The moment I start to write, I'm not present. Okay. Occasionally, when I'm coaching, if the person is a big talker, and I think that something might get lost, I might write down one word, like consistency. I might write one word, but that is it. But I rarely take notes. And I'm often, when I'm mentoring people live, and they're sitting there taking notes, I'll walk over and I'll take their notes away and said, just coach now and see what happens. And it's amazing how much better of a coach they are. So please don't think, oh, I have to write this down or I won't remember. You will. You know, you just lodge it in your brain. Keyword. And you saw I came back to consistently much later, but that's because we already talked about it. I trust. You know, I mean, you developed your memory as a kid. You know, all the tests you took were memorization. So we all have this ability. You got to trust it. So I'm not a fan of note taking. Okay, I know some schools teach it and people do it, but I'm not a fan.
Right, we got lots of questions, and we're actually almost at the top of the hour. Maybe what we can do is that we just take one more, and then I'll pass it.
We still have time. We still have time.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we will end at 9:45.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right.
But
For us, I mean that for Marsha, probably about 9:30, another 10 minutes or so. Then the rest is for us to wrap up.
Right. 10 more minutes.
we have 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. Right. We keep to that.
Yeah, they're good questions. Thank you.
Yeah. Right. Josephine has got this question. Says that there is a time you would propose two states of being, like in the case of roller coaster. How is it that?
I'm not sure of the question.
Yeah, that's right. There's a time you would propose two states of being, like in the case of roller coaster. How is it that? So I'm not sure whether Josephine, you're referring to the two state of being in terms of what? So,
You mean the up and the low?
Yeah, maybe it could be the up.
Well, you know, it was an interesting metaphor he used with the roller coaster. Again, I think metaphors are key moments. And I think we explored a roller coaster, but for him, it was the dip in the roller coaster. But I did ask him, if you noticed, I said, well, you know what it feels like to be on top, don't you? So tell me about that. So I did explore both because I wanted Ricky to know that he has everything. He's creative, resourceful, whole. He has everything in him to be able to decrease, the dips. And I did ask him that. Do you want no roller coaster or you want to decrease it? I did not say, Ricky, you're not going to get rid of the roller coaster. I asked him which he wanted, and he said decrease it, which is realistic. And he showed me what it might look like. So we explored both the highs and the lows, I think. Ricky, right? Did we not look at both highs and lows? Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and how could he maintain and be more consistent with the highs and not dip so low on the lows? That's what he said he wanted. That was a great outcome. It was a great picture. So I loved working with that. Yeah.
Right. One more. This is a question that regards to close-ended question, and the question comes from Paulus. Paulus asked this: I heard Dr. Marshall using quite often closed questions. That sometimes those are like asking leading questions. Please help me get a clear picture about this issue. At least Paulus can get some clear picture on it.
Okay. If you noticed, and if you were to listen to this, my closed questions always follow reflections. Okay, I never just ask, is that bad? I never just ask a closed question. And if you noticed, I don't get just a yes or no answer. My closed questions are confirmation questions and clarity questions. I need to understand more, and so I want to nail it down. When I want him to think more broadly, I ask open questions. So what does that look like? Tell me more about the downs. I'll ask more open questions. In when I'm wanting him to explore what it looks like, what it feels like, and what else is possible. I don't believe my closed questions are leading. So maybe you thought they were. I was doing my best to stay really present and not lead him. And, I'm a human. I may have done that at some point. But if somebody taught you that a closed question is always leading, I have to say I disagree. I don't believe that. Ricky, do you feel that I was leading you to a conclusion? Was there a moment? And
not at all. I feel you are rather showing the way, the path for more self-discovery, put it that way. I mean, that's how I feel.
Okay. Yeah. So I do combine them. And again, if you look at the ICF PCC behavioral markers, the question is, do they use more open questions than closed questions? They never say that closed questions are bad. No one should ever teach you that. Okay. It was never intended to not ask that. And again, if I use a lot of reflection, right? Because I want them to take their story out and look at it. And so I want to offer the reflection, but I want to know, is that true? What else is there? And so I'll ask the closed question to verify the reflection. And often it takes them into a deeper conversation. So I'm not closing off the conversation with the question that I ask. Occasionally I may catch myself and say, that could have been an open question. I think I did that once. I asked it close and then I stepped back and then opened the question. I will do that, so, and that's okay. It's like, I think I said, did you, or tell me about that or explain that to me. So I stepped back and asked it in an open way. So I caught myself. But I've worked very hard not to be leading. And so please don't think closed questions are leading questions. And we all lead now and then, and we have to learn how to catch ourselves, and I wouldn't worry about it too much up front. Just keep practicing, you'll get better. But, you know, it's really interesting. I was listening to a woman going for her MCC, and she knew her client really well. Like, you know, in the recording, they said something about, you know, they've known each other for years. And she did good coaching, but the first part of the coaching was awful. Because she was totally like being her best friend, you know, and there was a little judgment and there was leading up front, you know, and then she caught herself and she moved into it. But I can't pass her at that level, because she was like wanting the best for her friend and wasn't being the coach. So we have to be very careful when we're with clients for a long time that we start kind of falling into a little bit of leading. I do it too, and I have to catch myself, you know, and correct it. And there's times I've walked away from coaching session where I'm like, bad coach. You know, where I just got too close to my client and I wasn't really coaching, you know. So there's things that we fall into too. So don't, you know, I say they want you to be present, not perfect, because I don't know a perfect coach. We do our best and we keep getting better. And it's why we keep developing, why the ICF requires ongoing development, why you want to go to advanced coaching. And, you know, a lot of times people, you know, they read my books, they see my webinars, and they're like, thank you for reminding me. So I'm not teaching you something you didn't know. I'm just making you remember. And we experienced coaches need to be reminded as well. And so it's great that you're here. I appreciate that. And that we're learning together. And every time I teach, I remind myself. So I appreciate this opportunity as well.
Right. The saying goes that when you teach, you learn twice. So
yeah, that's true. That's
okay.
great.
There's one more question regarding to the life coaching.
Okay, one more question, then I need to go.
Yeah. In what circumstances or situations should coach interrupt the client during the coaching conversations?
You know, I tend to be an interrupter by nature, so I have to be careful. Okay. And I did say to Ricky at the beginning, he was kind of circulating. And so I said, I interrupted, but I said to him, you know, Ricky, I'm interrupting you a little bit. And I want to tell you why. You know, it's like, you know, we have a certain time frame, and so, you know, but I'm trying to be conscious of that. Now, if the person starts to tell you something they've already told you once, twice, or whatever, it's fine to say, you know, can I just step in and see if I have this? Can I summarize what you've shared with me? Right now, there's so many emotions. People circulate and keep saying the same thing over and over, and we're not moving forward. So I will, like, politely, hopefully, but forcefully say, can I share with you what I think I've heard you say? I'd like to, you know, we seem to be all over the place. I'd like to, you know, bring it down to where we're going. Is that okay? And, you know, and so I'll say, you know, I'm interrupting you. Is that okay? So it's okay. You don't want to sit there for 15 minutes and listen to their story. You know, we need to know where we're going. Where is this conversation going? But again, you know, I hopefully that I'm doing it in a gentle way and not an intrusive way. So, okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks a
I
lot,
see all
Marsha.
the thank yous. Thank you as well.
Yeah, big shout out to you and also to Ricky for being on board. And Ricky is not a coach. He has no idea what is coaching all about. And I think this is a real situation, and for him to be very open and vulnerable. And thanks, Marsha, for...
Thanks, Marsha. Thanks so much. All the best to you. And
yeah, you
nice
too. And Ricky,
there.
I want to say that somebody mentioned in the chat that to thank you, because they're going through this as well, and it was so helpful for me to coach you on this. And so know that there's many people that are going through what you're going through, and so you bringing this to the table was useful for so many people, because it's a scary time.
Yes.
It's a scary time for all of us. So yeah. Anyway, so I hope I get to Asia this fall and I can see some of you. And if not, next year.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Marsha.
Take care then. Yeah, take care, Marsha.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, right.
Bye.
Right.
Right. Okay, I'm going to bring up. Now, if you like to connect with Marsha Reynolds, you have some more burning question about her presentation and also the coaching demonstration, you can actually email to Marsha at covisioning.com, or you can visit her website. There are plenty of resources for you to learn more about reflective inquiry, and you can connect